Whoa. Did you just out-Pakistan me as a Pakistani?
Yep. Hello and welcome to Bad News. I'm Monty Wilson.
And I'm Faizan Shah, and I just bought this shirt.
Oh, very nice shirt. And on today's show we're going to be covering a few different topics. We're going to be covering Gary Neville's lovely little social rant and how all middle-aged white men are very angry. And ironically, very angry about being told they're very angry, which is a very, very white man thing to do, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, they're like, what do you mean we're angry? We'll show you angry.
I can't wait to put in a bit of Joey Barton in here as well to show it was just wonderful.
Gary Neville at this moment in time. Neville is just absolutely having an absolute ball. I don't disagree with what he said.
Hold on a second. I'm also just going to mention we're going to be talking about the Labour and Tory conferences today, and also Farage getting slightly upset with Starmer about calling him racist, whilst also being whatever he wants to be. And lastly, we're also going to be talking about Michelle Mone, the Glaswegian entrepreneur czar, being fined for £122 million for fucked PPE. Gowns, specifically.
Yeah, she wasn't just going around fucking PPE.
No, she wasn't fucking PPE. I mean, she probably could have done because the material would have been so frail that she could have made a hole in it. Well, no, sorry, she doesn't have a... No. Who knows? Maybe she does. Maybe. Wow. I'm not saying nor denying that Michelle Mone is...
Don't cancel me.
Is Michelle Mone trans?
Is her name Mone or Monet?
I think for the purpose of this episode, and because she's a working class woman made good, I think she was Michelle Mone, but now that she's married to a billionaire, it's Michelle Monet.
Yeah, because you can't be moaning if you're married to a millionaire.
No. Look, if you're married to a billionaire and you get fined for 122 mil...
Oh, he's a billionaire?
Her husband is a billionaire. Doug Barrowman. Big Doug.
Doug Barrowman.
Little picture of Doug here. Nice. And also, just for context, a little picture of Michelle here. Doug's punching. I would say Doug's,
Yeah, you've got very conflicting feelings about Michelle Monet.
And we're going to get onto that. But first, let's talk about G. Neville.
Gary, at this moment in time, Neville.
I'm looking forward to what Gary is going to become.
Yeah, the star of the Gary Neville podcast, that Gary Neville. Recently gone on a rant.
Could you imagine if he was doing a full solo Bill Burr podcast, but just Gary Neville?
Yeah, it's just
him to camera being like, everyone's really angry.
You know, my favourite thing is so he's usually got a co-commentator. So the podcast is usually filmed right after a game that he was commentating on.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry, he does actually have a podcast.
Yeah, and it's called the Gary Neville Podcast.
Oh, fuck, that went right. I thought we were taking it.
I already knew you wouldn't know much about football. Right?
No, I bloody love it. No,
you know what Sky Sports.
Oh, no, but I've watched bits of the one he does with, Ian Wright.
Yeah, that's the overlap.
Yeah,
that's the overlap.
That's
the overlap. That's it. But he also has a podcast called the Gary Neville Podcast. And my favourite thing about that podcast is, at the start, the person who's been on co-commentary with will be asking him questions and be kind of his co-host, but in the background asking him questions.
Right.
But he always starts it with, well, welcome everyone with another edition of the Gary Neville Podcast. Here's Gary Neville.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we did just introduce ourselves, but in a sort of duo context, but introducing yourself every single time. And his...
Yeah, exactly.
It's like at a comedy show when someone's doing a tour show and they, do the voiceover to bring themselves on.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah,
that's what it is. This is somehow worse in that tour show would not be called, I don't know, Monty Wilson's tour show. It would be like, Monty Wilson's tour show, everyone. Here's Monty Wilson.
Hey!
So that's mad.
I tell you what. In this sort of climate, it's interesting for Gary Neville to go on. Was it on live, or was it
Yeah, he just
went on live. He obviously must have been fuming about one of his 3 or 4 hotels losing cash. and he just went, "This country's broken," you know, and it's all because of angry middle-aged white men like me. He was referring to himself.
He's like a billionaire, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he owns some of the hotels here, doesn't he?
He basically owns half of Manchester.
Yeah, and then complaining about the working class middle-aged white men. It was a bit of a hit and miss. Like, I completely understand. I get what he's coming from. It is also fun. I also like the idea of watching Gary Neville in like a rage going out onto the street he lives and tearing down the British Union Jack flag.
I mean, I don't think there'll be a lot of Union Jacks on his street. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I highly doubt he lives on like a terrace street where there's loads of like flipping flags on the lamppost.
Yeah, he doesn't live in Moston.
Yeah. He's probably got like flags of, I don't know, like Waitrose or something around his areas.
That'd be a good quality
but,
flag.
Like, his point kind of, I don't know necessarily think he needs to say middle-aged like white men.
No, he didn't need to specify the people who are angry.
Yeah,
he really didn't need to
because that's like poking the bear. It's like saying like the Russians are dickheads. Like, don't do that, bro, because you know they'll come and poison you in Salisbury.
Yeah, but not quite do the job.
Yeah, true.
You know,
because they're middle-aged white men. So you know. You probably have to subcontract to Eastern Europeans.
Lovely little Frankie Boyle joke there, which is when he said the Salisbury poisoning sounds like a guest ale. I'm like, that's nice. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. It's the pushback that Gary Neville has got that has really made me laugh. It's not Gary Neville having a little rage fit online as if he is like a mum complaining about an ex.
Yeah.
It's you know.
But it's a loss in context because again, the fact that we now currently live under a oligarchy of billionaires who have decided to mold our brains in a certain way, that context gets lost in everything.
Yeah.
So he's basically made a point, and then everyone's just latched onto the fact that he said angry middle-aged white men.
No, but it's only angry middle-aged white men that have done the irony of going, I'm not bloody angry.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Gary. I'm not angry. Fuck you.
And here's some pictures.
But it's all the like TalkSport, 5football, all the fucking the angry middle-aged white men that are coming out and being like, Gary, what do you mean I'm angry?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I get it. He's a.
You know, he's had to pull out of the punditry, right?
Well, I mean, so he might not be appearing on the Gary Neville podcast.
Oh no!
Look what you've done, middle-aged white man. You've taken a job of a middle-aged white man. What are you doing? Like, what is this? This is what world have we entered now, where cancel culture is going mental, where even white guys are getting cancelled?
What do you think Gary Neville could do to get the middle-aged white men back on side?
Book out a Toby Carvery and just let them bring their kids.
So like a bar tab.
You know, on the day those angry middle-aged white men get to see their kids.
Stop watching that. Stop watching Gary Neville podcast and come and spend some time with me.
Precisely. There we go. Right, and then he'd book like a Toby Carvery, right, and just go free scran for everyone.
I bet.
I've never been in a Toby Carvery.
No,
is it actually sick?
No, I've never been to a Toby Carvery. Hopefully my accent would give that away. I've never been to a Toby Carvery.
Is it a working class thing?
I don't know.
What is a carvery? I always wanted to know. You know.
Well, there is pork there, so it might be.
Yeah, but like, I get that, but you know, in terms of
carvery's like a school kitchen on a Sunday.
Okay.
And it's just like the roast. It's all the roast bits. It's a big roast, big roast dinner. But like, think of.
So you got chicken, lamb, beef, pork.
I don't think they're going for lamb. This is what I mean. I think they're going, and I think everything would be very, very dry. I think it would be the driest. I mean, look, please tell us how dry a Toby Carvery is, because I imagine it's dry, but I also imagine Gary Neville doesn't have gravy. He doesn't.
No, he's northern. He has gravy.
Is he gravy? Is he gravy northern anymore though?
He's gravy. Not anymore, but he's gravy definitely.
Do you think he's actually?
I
imagine he'd go to a carvery and like get the leanest meat and ask them, sorry, can you actually take the fat? Can you take the rind off that pork, please?
No, so like he goes to like a pasty shop in Bolton still. That he used to go to when he was a kid, which is nice. And it's one of those like places that has been there since the 19th century or something.
Look, Gary Neville Gary Neville is wholesome, but what I do find interesting is that like Gary Lineker has a political rant online, and everyone like upholds him as like the sort of the political not martyr, but like he's our guiding man. This Gary. And then the other Gary goes on and has a political rant, and everyone fucking hates him.
I think there's a difference though, because like Gary Lineker talks more about how he wants more he's more accepting of the idea of refugees and like what's going on in Palestine, Israel, and stuff like that.
They both want peace and love.
Yeah, but and I don't know. Gary Neville wants peace.
He literally said at the end of the rant,
anyone with Roy Keane who had Roy Keane as their captain does not want peace and love.
I think if anyone had Roy Keane as their captain, all they want for the rest of their life is peace and love.
Okay, do you know what? You do raise a good point.
I
retract.
I think even Roy Keane, having had Roy Keane as a captain, wants peace and love.
It's his job.
He's a chilled out man now.
I know he is, but he doesn't like.
I think Gary Neville gets a bad rap. In a way, I think he's like.
Oh my god! Are we in this awkward position of defending Gary Neville?
No, because he is also incredibly annoying. I think all the angry middle-aged dudes. I'm gonna start saying white dudes as well. Everyone's
angry in middle-aged.
There might be a middle-aged Asian dude who's also pissed off with Gary Neville. Who knows? But like,
I doubt it. I don't think he registers that much.
No, and they're all Man U fans anyway, aren't they?
He doesn't register much in our WhatsApp group. So.
Why did I say that? For me, it's like they're obviously all just angry about... Because it seems they're all angry about him taking down the flag. That's all it seems to be, about him being like, I'm a patriot, I played for my country 85 times. Do not forget 85 times. You are right, how we got 85 caps is beyond me. Yeah. But people are evidently... They're only just angry about, he doesn't love this country, he's taking down flags, and it's like, mate, he's fucking...
Well, I've got a question, and I think this is really it speaks to the heart of like just British society in general. Because what is patriotism as a Brit? I've never understood that. You know what I mean?
I think, I get what you mean.
Because I could spot like an American patriot from a mile off.
Well, because I'm currently reading a book about English history, about how England became England from like fucking 600 AD up to now.
Shameless plug that you read.
Oh, I read. Yeah. But also, I'm becoming less and less patriotic about... I'm becoming less and less patriotic about Englishness and more patriotic about England. Because as you read it, you go, oh, we're just European. That's all we are.
So what you're basically saying is you're a woke lefty liberal?
Fuck no.
I feel like you are. That's what you're trying to say. I feel like you're trying to dress it up. You're trying to dress it all up in an England flag, but... What you're basically saying...
No, Union Jack flag.
Would you withdraw from the ECHR right now?
The ECHR?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
No, I was going to ask you to elaborate, please.
The European Commissioner of Human Rights.
No, I want to go back to EU because that's centrist.
You want to go back to the EU?
I want to go back to EU.
Why? I don't like
Because I want to move out.
I like independent.
I want to move out of England.
Where do you want to move?
Amsterdam's lovely.
Yeah, but it's also got canals and that.
I live in Manchester. Yeah, but I love a canal.
But we've got a serial killer though. Yeah, fair enough.
And I could go to the canal and smoke weed here. If actually, to be honest, if anything, I probably...
what people do.
That is what everyone does. Go to the canal, smoke weed, and they get away with it as much as they would do in Amsterdam. But I would also like to be able... Actually, no, I was about to say I'd like to be able to ride a bike and not feel like I'm going to die. Actually, I would more likely die in Amsterdam on a bike.
Yeah, because there's too many of them.
Yeah, that's it. I want to join the EU for this country so I can leave this country. But I do love England.
Why can't you just do that right now? You're a middle-aged white guy.
I'm 28.
What I don't get, and again, I don't know what this part... Do you ever feel like the online world isn't necessarily representative of the real world?
No, of course it's not.
Because I walk around
because people just brain fart onto the internet. They don't have the moment to think. Going, I don't know if this is gonna sit well.
And again, it goes back to circle back a point. It's just I feel like there's no equity in society anymore. In that, back in the days, if the rich wanted to like mess with you, they had to interact with you physically. Right? So you had to join a bread line or something like that, where then you could beat up the people in the bread line or the person who was distributing the bread and go, "Yo, give me more bread, bro. This isn't enough bread." And then you start a riot, and then the police will come out and they beat you up. But then eventually everybody would have more bread. But nowadays, it's so insidious in that you can just be sat at home. Like in the privacy of your own home, there is somebody out there who is trying to manipulate your brain. Yeah. That's weird. That's odd. Like, as a society, that's what we've basically just accepted.
Yeah.
When we literally go, accept all, and you know what I mean? And it says, do you want the app to track? And you're like, not now. But
do you not go through... Oh, am I such an old man that every time I go on a website and it gives you like the, accept all, accept recommended cookies or go through them. I go through them and just tick no to every legitimate interest. No. I go no, because I'm getting calls. I'm getting spam calls every day. Every day.
So even after you do that?
No, it's just I've started doing it because I keep getting spam calls all the time from like London or Derby. And
quick question: do those people who ring you sound like they're from London or Derby? Because mine don't.
I don't answer them. I'm not answering them.
As soon as it comes up like suspected spam, I don't answer it. No, is it spam or scam? Something like that. But when it comes up with that, I don't answer it. But then also, it's just, I just accept it because, I need to buy trainers, bro. So I'm like, whatever, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I'm in the middle of something, so I'm going to accept it. But I'm also like, it's very weird. Like, I personally think, when you think about it, is on an individual level, like, you sat in your own room. Like, when you just sat in your own room, and then there's this entire algorithm run by $1 billion, million, gazillion, billion-dollar company that is nameless and faceless, and their whole thing is to basically vie for your attention. Yeah, and they basically just try to tickle your lizard brain. So it's like, someone's trying to come.
Well, which is why the Gary Neville thing makes me laugh, because he obviously would have put that out, and anyone who's kind of pro Gary Neville or pro the rhetoric that he's going on about would have watched that and gone, yeah, it's nice. But everybody who's watched it, who's a Man United fan and has now watched Man United lose for the last 10 years, is fuming about that anyway. And now is fuming about Gary Neville being like, you're fucking angry flagnons. And so they share it, and then all the angry flagnons is on their Facebook, or it's always Facebook, isn't it? So he shares it, and someone who agrees with him goes, yeah, that's nice. But everyone who gets fuming about it just fucking runs riot on it.
Basically, the world's absolute fucking shit.
And when it comes to the flag thing, like, I think it's okay to show your pride in your country by having a flag of your country. The only thing is, though, I've never been so proud about something that I've painted it on a roundabout. Like my dad was proud of me being his firstborn son and the best. But I don't think he was so proud of me that he went and strung me up outside the local off license to scare away the Muslims.
Hang on. Now in my head, I'm just thinking, why is your dad hanging you outside the off license?
Because he's proud of me.
Yeah, I mean,
it's my firstborn. Everybody.
I think there's also,
and he'll get all the immigrants out. I don't know.
Yeah, just gonna look at this white boy. Oh shit! Everybody run!
What? Can you do the accent and say what's his name?
What's his name?
Monty. Ah!
There is no. Can't remember. Like, there's no progress happening anymore.
In what? What?
Just
anything?
Just
anything.
I just feel like as a society and just generally, we're just stuck in situ, and everything is going to be the next big thing. AI is going to be the next big thing.
It does feel like
social media is going to revolutionise the world. Pepsi is going to be better than Coke. Just shut up. Right? I don't feel like there's been any fucking human progression since 2002.
No, it's not human progression anymore, is it? It's now technological progression.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I just feel like I don't see I don't see. Well, I mean, like, okay.
Do you know what? I think it would have been good for Gary Neville to come out and say, "Guys, that wasn't me. That was AI."
Oh my god! You should do that. And by the way, this is AI.
That wasn't me. That was AI. If we weren't AI, could we do this?
Yeah.
I don't know what I put in.
I don't know either.
I don't know what I put in.
I genuinely just feel like I've just turned into a granddad and just started moaning at the world. But I'm really annoyed.
Yeah.
Speaking of moaning.
But I was going to... Oh, do you know what? That was real good. But But I'm going to have to cut it off and say I'm looking forward to listening to the Gary Neville podcast.
That is unbelievable.
Oh, you know what, Faizan? Before we start going on to our next topic, we're going to go to our wonderful, wonderful weather girl, weather woman, weather lady, Rhiannon Lee, for an update.
Weather person.
No.
Yeah?
She...
Weather people can be men.
No, I know they can.
Yeah.
But she identifies as
A woman.
a woman.
So she's a weather woman man.
Weather lady man.
Weather woman man.
We're going to go to our weather lady man, Rhiannon Lee, for an update on the weather.
Bad news if you're in St Helens. That's got nothing to do with the weather. You're just in St Helens. But as for the weather, just as poo. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you ever so much for that, Rhiannon. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Also, I'm just going to stand by it. Look out your bloody window. Be a man and just sort your life out. What are you doing? Why do you need somebody else to tell you what the weather is?
I think it's nice to be told what to think.
God, you really are a woke lefty liberal, aren't you?
I'm so glad you're
You
not...
just want communism. That's what you want.
I've been to Eastern Europe. I do not want it. Thank you very much.
I've been to Eastern Europe and I want it. I want drab uniforms.
No, because I don't want all the brands to be unbranded. I want to know the brand of the thing. I want to be able to trust it. You know, I believe in capitalism to some degree. But I also believe in sharing, which then contradicts itself.
What I love is when you go to Eastern Europe, you will see an uncle who will be dressed head to toe in Gucci.
Yeah, but it's all...
But will be definitely unemployed.
Yeah.
Well, they'll just be walking around with that. They're wearing a Gucci shirt, Gucci tracksuit, Gucci thing, and you're like,
I would say though, and I love Manchester, but you do see that in Manchester as well, in the Arndale.
Bro, Cheetah Mill is the hub for that. So it's not that far, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not for too long though.
Fair.
And I wonder if Labour are going to fix Cheetham Hill. We're going to be talking about the Labour conference that's been in Liverpool over the weekend, or last weekend, whenever it was. Do you know much about it? What's been going on with Labour? I mean, they've been very vocal. I mean, they've managed to piss off Farage by calling him...
a racist?
Well, he didn't say Farage is a racist. He said that his his political standpoints were racist.
I think this is an absolute disgrace. I used to think the Prime Minister was a decent man, somebody that I could talk to and chat to. We might disagree on worldview, but I thought he was a profoundly decent human being. I am completely shocked at his behaviour. I hope when he wakes up tomorrow morning, he feels ashamed of what he has done. This is a desperate last throw of the dice from a Prime Minister who's in deep trouble, a Prime Minister who can't even command the support of half of his own party. But I'm sorry to say, I now believe that he is unfit to be the Prime Minister of our country. This Labour conference lacks any vision, and we are going to continue, I'm sorry to say, in economic, social and cultural decline. But Starmer is right about one thing. We are facing a big fork in the road. He is a human rights lawyer who will bow down to foreign courts and to outdated treaties. And he has no idea of the division that open borders have caused within our communities, or indeed the anger and a sense of unfairness that people feel over two-tier policing and two-tier justice under two-tier care.
How can you go, your political standpoint is racist, you on the other hand are not? That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, but because he can't...
There seems some whitery going on there.
Because he will get a libel case against him if he says Nigel Farage is racist.
Yeah, but then you just pull up everything Nigel Farage has ever said and gone, yo, that's a bit racist.
Yeah, but I don't know the libel laws, but I can only presume...
To be fair...
But I can only presume you could bring up everything Farage has done, all the things he wants to bring into this country, unless he's done a racially motivated attack of sorts. Okay. You can't get it through in court saying he is racist.
Okay, so it's like that lady who instigated a riot. Well, not instigated a riot, but basically said burn him in the hotel, pled guilty, and then said, I'm innocent. How are you innocent after you pled guilty? That's mad. That's like somebody saying, you are the father, and you're like, no, I'm not.
No, bruv.
You are?
Not
you
me.
are?
Not me.
No, it's sticky that. No, it's not me, no. You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? And on top of that is, what annoys me about Labour, just generally, is, do you have any ideas?
No, they don't. And what I think is quite funny about the Labour conference is they're going, Starmer's going up in front of all the other people in Labour going, oh, we're doing great. oh, look at us.
Spot on.
You know,
Pierce
it's, you know, we're going to be winning this. It's like, and they're doing it in Liverpool, which is a great city for the Labour conference to be in because it's got a Labour stronghold. But it's like you're just shouting into the echo chamber, which is why I do respect the Conservative conference for being in Manchester, because it's not a place where everyone's going to go, oh bloody hell, I agree with them.
Yeah,
you know.
I get that, but then also I just feel like with the current Labour government anyway, it's just they're just recycling mad ideas that Tony Blair had like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
What we doing here, like with all this bullshit about like digital IDs and stuff. Like,
yeah, the digital ID is a wild one. I didn't realise they tried to bring it in before. I didn't realise this wasn't. I thought this was like a new thing that they had. I didn't realise they tried to do it before.
Yeah. They tried to do it before, and the only people who stopped it from happening, which is probably the only good thing those motherfuckers did, which was the coalition government.
I read quite a funny thing online, which was, I can't remember who put it, but it was just like, you know, having the British digital ID will be very, very conflicting for a lot of people in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I'd love to be able to try and do the accent. I hung out with a load of them at Glastonbury. Did I mention I went to Glastonbury? Mm-hmm. But we, yeah, it's just, you know, for Scottish people, Welsh people, maybe not Welsh, they fucking love it, don't they? But like Scottish people and Northern Irish, they're having the idea of having like the British national ID is quite a horrible thing, really.
And also, why has it got to be digital? Why can't we have a physical one? Why do we need one? Why do we need one? Listen, let the middle-aged white men loose right now on this digital ID bullshit, because I'm not happy about it at all. I don't like it.
Do you not think the people who are getting angry at Gary Neville, though, probably are in favour of the British digital ID?
No, I highly doubt it. What right-wing
surely,
middle-aged white men are going to be in favour of a means of...
Because it's all about cracking down on, like, illegal
yeah, but
workers.
how big a problem is illegal working?
No, it's not a big problem at all. You're going to have, like, fucking 99% of people's data to try and find 1% of people who are working illegally.
This goes back to my point in that we're getting fucked out there, because I've got this problem with police as well, right? Just generally with the police, like, but big up the police, you know, the ones that do the good jobs, not the ones that like going around locking up the man them for no reason. But
I mean, my theory on police is the same as teachers, where 20% of them are sound and 80% of them are fucking horrid.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But the thing is my problem is, why is it that I know all the points of illegality in my neighbourhood, but the police don't, bro?
Because you're integrated into the neighbourhood.
Yeah, but why isn't the police?
Because they don't fucking live in Oldham.
Yeah, but they should be. Why do we have community policing? We don't have policing by consent anymore. These guys just show up and they're like, oh, you're under arrest. I'm like...
Is it because of something you said online?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, no, I don't tend to incite violence online. Not in this country, anyway.
There was a great bit in the Labour conference where Starmer was talking, when he was doubling down on the migration, he was telling about a story in 2015 when he had just become like an MP.
I'm already fucking bored.
Well, you won't be, because it's about, said how he met a woman in Oldham.
Women live in Oldham, I can vouch for that one.
They used to in 2015, and he was saying about like doubling down on migration or whatever, and about referencing this woman he met in Oldham in 2015, how she was like, you know, these Eastern Europeans have moved into Oldham and they don't put the bins out on the right day and they spit on the ground. And he was making a reference to how she was annoyed about people coming into this country and living on her street, whilst also really trying hard to make sure that she doesn't come across as racist. And I think the best way to not come across as racist is to not mention that they're from Eastern Europe.
Yeah, probably.
It's these people have moved into the street, they put the bins out at the wrong time, and they spit on the ground. They do also happen to be Eastern Europe.
I'm going to say something controversial, Monty.
Oh, I thought you usually left that to me, but go on.
Immigrants can be annoying. Can we address that?
Let's just take a pause on that.
It's okay. Like, I'm an immigrant too, and immigrants can be annoying. Sometimes you walk into a corner shop and you're like, bro, why are you on your phone? Like, I'm here.
Why are you on your phone playing it out loud?
Yeah, like, what's going on? And then, like, what is going on? They can be a bit annoying, but I get that. It's
I would also say famously, one of the most annoying lot of migrants is the English knocking about in Spain
Yeah, but they
and
don't...
Bali.
Yeah, true.
You know.
I've never been to Bali.
I've never been. It doesn't look inviting.
Oh, I see.
I don't want to get the shits to hang out with crypto bros.
Plus, I'm not going to have a digital ID, so I won't be able to go.
But what is even more like boring and banal than the Labour conference is the much more pitiful Tory conference with Kemi.
Yeah.
Little Kemi.
I mean, he's our Prime Minister.
She
is
dreams
the
of being
shadow Prime Minister.
Oh, she dreams of it.
And they can't spell the country's fucking name right. Is this what it's come to? We've got a fucking ChatGPT looking motherfucker, a woman who can't spell the country's name right.
What was it? It was in the like.
Her
goodie
voice
bag.
is hoarse because she's singing Sweet Caroline, and somebody who is allegedly a racist, a liar, a fraud, and then Tim Davies somewhere on the fucking jet ski doing his stuff.
I think what I do find funny about the Conservative Party is they have the best record for diversity in leadership positions.
The Tories.
Yeah, they've got the best record of diversity in leadership positions. But it always fills me with a bit of like ickiness, where they're like, "Yeah, we've had the brown guy in charge, we've had the black woman in charge, but we're the best." And you're going, "Yeah, but they are posh."
Yeah, but on top of
They
that, I
are
feel like they've
very
done it on
posh.
purpose as well.
Yeah, of course they have.
I feel like they've done it on purpose because what they've basically done is they've gone, oh, we're all about diversity and representation, but we won't give you the good ones. We'll give you all the shit ones. So we're like, oh, here's a woman who can't spell the country's name right. How about this guy?
Well,
And
was that in a party bag, by the way? The British.
Yeah,
thing?
she gave out some like what do you call it? You know that at the end of the party, at the end of like the conference, they give you like apparently
Little goodie bag.
Yeah, goodie bag,
Yeah,
and it said something like when Labour negotiates, Britain loses. Which I don't know what country that is. Maybe it's in the Caribbean. I have no idea.
My favourite bit from all the Tory conference was. I'll see if I can put the clip in here, but there's a clip of there's a BBC reporter asking Kemi, how does she feel about the smaller hall, because they're using the smaller hall, how does she feel about the smaller hall having loads of empty seats? And she's like shouting over this woman, and the reporter has to go, Kemi, really sorry, we are showing a video next to your head of all the empty seats. And she's like, well, just watch my speech, you know, like I was full, people having to stand at the back.
The hall seems half empty. There doesn't seem to be much atmosphere, and you are simply not filling the seats in that slightly smaller hall that you're using at the moment the way that you used to.
That's simply not true. First of all,
Sorry, I should just point out we're showing pictures of an empty hall right now. Alongside you,
yes, but
we can see pictures of rows of empty seats.
Show the pictures of my speech. It was standing
We've got Mel
room
Stride's
only.
speech on at the moment.
We have this many times at conference.
And at the end of it, it's like you mentioned earlier, she was like, "Oh, sorry, my voice is very hoarse because I've been singing Sweet Caroline with all the young Conservatives." Oh, the young Conservatives freak the shit out of me, mate.
Yeah, we're gonna put in a clip over here.
I think reform will probably spontaneously combust.
Our last story today, Michelle Monet. We know she's called Michelle Moan, but because she's minted, she is now Michelle Monet.
If you're moaning and you're not minted, there's something wrong in your life, and you should ask ChatGPT about it.
Michelle Moan and the company that she was affiliated with her husband Doug Barrowman. I can't remember what the company was called whatsoever. Oh yeah, that's it. It was a great. What would you call a company that makes PPE during a coronavirus? If you ask ChatGPT, can you make me a company name for like medical gear?
PPE medical?
You know what? Might as well have been. It was just called MedPro.
No.
MedPro. They've been fined for £122 million because of faulty gear or PPE that wasn't in line with the contract that they had initially set. Now, you actually put me on to Michelle Moan, and then you got very annoyed at me that I called her fit.
I didn't get annoyed.
You were like, oh...
How's that steady on?
Steady on.
She has defrauded the taxpayer.
Michelle Mummy.
After my digital ID thing, and I got to give £25, she's taken it. She taken that £25.
Yeah.
I have paid.
Yeah. To be
I
fair.
paid tax in this country ever since I've been working, and she has taken a bit of that. that tax.
Oh, she's taking.
I was like, yo, fund the hospitals, the kids and the children and all that stuff, and like, you know, we need nuclear warheads because like Putin's a dickhead. But apparently, we got to give £122 million to the woman who's already minted and married to a billionaire, and she gave us nothing in return. And she's not in prison, bro.
Oh no, she is very much on a yacht enjoying. I read a little article from, because she lives in the Isle of Man because it's like a little bit of a tax haven, right? Of course she lives in the Isle of Man, and there was like a sort of local newspaper from the Isle of Man that was like, oh, you know, despite the £122 million fine, she's still living it up, and there's pictures of her just like on her boat being like, wow, you know, just in one of the PPE gowns, just going, oh look, it's.
So it's just another case of the rich pissing at us from a fucking very like.
But she is proof that if you just, it's a very much fake it till you make it kind of thing. Because I didn't, you know, I actually had to look up who this person was, and she's a Glaswegian woman, Michelle, and at the time Moan, before becoming Minted and Monet. She's entrepreneur. You know, she started by making a lingerie brand with her then husband. And I know I said this to you earlier, but I just think a couple making a lingerie brand together does feel a bit sort of icky in a way. Because, you know, you've probably had this, I've had this, like when your partner puts like an outfit on and goes, does this look nice? And you go, of course this looks nice. And they go, would you tell me if it doesn't look nice? And you go, yes. Of course I would. And it'll be the exact same with the bras. You don't do that?
No, I'm not.
Because she always looks
I'm not
amazing.
Married.
I'm not married.
But I'm Muslim, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, she's not allowed to ask questions, of course. She started a lingerie brand mainly about like bras and stuff. And then very quickly, when it was getting sold in Selfridges, she put herself into the limelight because the fucking media were like, oh, who's this new entrepreneur, like young Glaswegian woman? She was doing TV, she was just like lying about bollocks. She lied about how her bras was used on, I think it was just like the main character in Erin Brockovich, that's it, Julia Roberts' character. And she was like, my bras gave her this cleavage. When they went to the filmmakers, they were like, no, she's just wearing a bra. You know.
So did you just put a titty pic up?
No, not a full tit pic, it's a cleavage pic.
I don't endorse this, this is haram.
Yeah, but I'm doing the editing, so it's fine. You know? But I'll tell you what, I will put, what do you want me to put over, what do you want me to put over the cleavage?
No, it's just do this and that, just to make.
Do you want me to put like a?
Just to make Faze unhappy, just cover him up.
Just cover him up.
Just cover him up after.
Just cover him up.
Just cover him like a black cloth.
Just a big black line through
so
it.
This is what they look like, but because you know this is a partnership.
I'll put the Pakistani flag over it. That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
And so essentially she was making money, you know, she was doing all right for herself. She was on like bits of TV, whatever. And then in 2015. So no, she joined the Labour, she joined the Conservative Party and defected from Labour in 2010. And then in 2015, David Cameron made her, in his own words, the entrepreneurship czar of the country, made her a Baroness Monet of Mayfair. What a title, by the way. Mummy. What a title.
Steady.
I don't ever like.
Steady.
No, I'm not a sub in any way. But then I found Michelle, and I'm like, oh, bloody hell.
This is.
But at the time when she was like brought in as Baroness, as the entrepreneurship czar of this country, loads of actual big business moguls were coming out being like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like the guy who ran the Gap Group, he basically called David Cameron, was just like, mate, she's actually never turned over more than 10 mil a year. At the Gap Group, as of in 2024, they turned over 303 million or something like that. It's like, oh, who's this bloody woman? Like, is the entrepreneurship czar? So essentially, she was just like a TV entrepreneur.
I've turned over 400 million in a year.
Undeclared.
Ugandan shillings.
Ugandan shillings.
I'm not entirely sure if that's the actual currency of Uganda.
But she's basically just like she's a grifter. She's a grifter who got into Parliament, and then obviously, come 2020. So by this point, she had already met her now husband, Doug Barrowman, who's a big fat billionaire cunt. And he is he's
Okay, you fancy her. We get it. You don't have to absolutely go at her husband at the same time, Monty. Keep it in your pants, mate.
But
he's beating you. He's got.
She's already got money. Wanted. She doesn't need to go for a billionaire just because. But saying that, it did work out in the end because obviously when coronavirus came around and all the Tories were giving out PPE loans PPE deals to evidently their mates. What I read about was that actually they had made a fast track for people getting the deals for PPE if they knew them.
Oh, great.
If they already knew the people, they basically fast-tracked people in there. And she came out, what was it? She had emailed or WhatsApp Michael Gove being like, yeah, I've got my team in Hong Kong who will sort this out for you. And, you know, and so they get some mad fucking...
Don't we all have a team in Hong Kong?
Yeah, we do, and it's called ChatGPT, baby. We, well, especially as English. But we, why did I say that again? But it has seemed that she's always wanted to be rich and famous. She got into Parliament, she was on TV, she's got this big fucking deal from the PPE loan. They obviously made the PPE and it's shite. Of course it's shite. It's made in Hong Kong. No offence. I want British-made gowns, you know? I don't know what they've been made out of. They've been made out of flags.
Don't say that. Come on. There's gonna be a flag put up right outside this.
And she's now obviously come out, like, post-conviction, being like, what have I fucking done wrong? What have I done wrong? Because turns out what's happened, she's like, I didn't get any money from this. I didn't take any money from this. What she did get, though, is that Big Dougie Barrowman, who is technically... He was the owner of the company, or is the owner of the company that was linked to the company that made... Because they got subsidiary companies who make the PPE, who are obviously owned by the head company, and he's linked to all of them. And she's come out and been like, well, I didn't get any fucking money out of this. But what she did get is £29 million put into a trust that can be accessed by her and her kids.
So basically, this is a woman who is a member of Parliament because she's a baroness. So
not anymore. She's been.
Okay, thank God, at least something's happened.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's been like kicked. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's.
Okay,
actually, I'll have to double check that. I'm pretty sure she's been kicked out.
If she has been kicked out, then that's great. Thank God, there's at least been some repercussions.
Yeah, but the only reason she got pulled up on this more than anyone else is because she was in the fucking limelight.
Yeah, but I got a question though. When they do fraud, why do they get to like chill in the Isle of Man on a fucking yacht? Well, when the man them do fraud, you got to do 5 to 7 years.
Well, how much cash do you have?
What do you mean?
Well, if you got cash, you get out of it.
So basically, we don't live in a country that has a equitable justice system.
They can't put the blame solely on her or anyone because it's a subsidiary company. And
so it sounds like she's familiar with the libel laws. Is that what you're trying to say?
She's familiar with some libel laws. You know, I mean, I said at the start of this that she could be trans, but and if she was, I'd still fancy her as much as I do.
Because he's a woke left liberal.
Thank you ever so much for watching episode 2 of Bad News. We never hope that anything bad ever happens, but if it does, we'll be here.
I'm not thanking you, but nice one, isn't it?